on his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Good morning, Bakers. What's going on, everybody? And welcome to Wake and Jake in the morning. Myself, BBD, as we walk you through a sneaky fun week of sports. Obviously, baseball is caliente en los calles. The NBA draft is tomorrow night. Love the NBA draft. Kind of doesn't get better than the NBA draft. I love drafts. If you know, even from our MLB The Show content, I love a good draft. NBADraft.net is my favorite website in the world. So if you've never checked it out, I highly, highly recommend that. No ad on today's show. I think the one thing I want to promote, well, the Weekly Dumb does come out today, and we always give Zach love where we can. Also,
I watched it. It might be the dumbest one yet.
Really?
I really liked it.
It's that dumb.
It's that dumb.
I haven't watched it yet. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stream's dead.
Stream's dead?
Yeah, this is uploaded later.
Okay.
So it's not going to be better if I tried a new stream.
All right, stream's dead, so let's roll through. We will upload after the fact. Just kill it, delete it, dump it. The one thing I was going to promote was MLB Guess Who with myself and Trevor. It's really good. I can't believe when we were doing it, we kind of couldn't believe how good it was. And the final product is incredible. So that's on John Boy Jake TV. Right after the GeoGuessr, a little MLB Guess Who. So go check that out. Internet monster. All right. The first thing I did want to do, a little baseball, not a full around the horn. I want to talk about my guy Shohei. Shohei Ohtani. Unreal, man. He goes, deleting the tweet. Call Joe's in a minute. Hear about the best night that ever happened. It'll just be a full re-upload. Shohei Ohtani, I go to bed last night. The Yankees lost. Sad, but they were still battling till the very end, kind of like this team does. Really excited for a deciding Game 3 today in the Trop to win or lose a series. Shohei Ohtani, I wake up this morning. I went to bed. I was tired. I actually watched an episode of Is It Cake? On Netflix.
You did?
I did. Jess and I have agreed. We're without a TV show. We've agreed to start watching Barry.
That's a good one.
That's going to be good for us.
It's a good length, too, of episode and of total series.
Right. Like to catch up on what are they, season 4 now? Like
I think it's just 3.
3? That's a really good catch-up length. Episodes are what, 45? Half?
I feel like they're half-hour eps, and
okay.
It's only like 10 eps per.
Okay, so we were scared to jump into an episode of that because we're both tired. Almost when you jump into a show, you want to like lock in for 2 or 3. And we only needed one show. So we'd watch Seinfeld last night, 2 nights ago. And so it was, do we go back to Seinfeld? Do we go somewhere else? 30 Rock, something like that. And we saw Is It Cake? And we went for it. And it's not good. I mean, you knew that. But I can say I watched it and I can never think about it again until I just told you guys. So we are, I go to bed and I watch Shohei Ohtani. You can, we're not live. Yeah, we're recording right now, but we're not live. Ain't that it? Internet Bob. Rob Scirocco poking his head in. Okay, he's restarting the router. Shohei Ohtani. I open my phone and I wake up to see his awesome, pimped, game-tying home run. It's like must-watch. It's must-watch. They're down 3. The runner on second base, right when Shohei hits it, puts their arms up. Shohei watches it, which, again, sometimes we don't have Shohei in that light. He pimped it, man, and rightfully so. A game-tying home run. And by the way, I mentioned it was a 3-run homer. It tied the game. It tied the game at 10s. So, we go into extras. The Angels lose the game. To the Kansas City Royals. The Kansas City Royals, who improved their record to 25-42. In their last 20 games, the Angels are 6-14. In their last 30 games, they are 9-21, which is both of those marks are worse than the Royals, who have been one of, if not the worst team in baseball this year. I used to tweet it out a lot more, and I think it's one of those things you get older and you just realize things aren't easy, and it's just easier to tweet things into the ether. I used to be a pretty big free Mike Trout guy. I mean, I guess it kind of stopped when he signed the massive extension, and I was like, well, Mike Trout has been going through all of this. Mike Trout has heard all of the "you've never won a playoff game." And Mike Trout signed that big old extension. So he's clearly happy doing what he's doing. Mike Trout, don't get me wrong, it's a ton of money, but he could have hit free agency and made, even if he declined somehow, which he has not, by the way, he's 1-dotting this year, which is his career OPS. Mike Trout would have found a way. And it doesn't have to be my Yankees. I'm obviously biased and I love my Yankees, but it didn't have to be them. Dodgers, right across town. Cubs. As much it would have hurt me, the Red Sox. Hell, the Mets. I mean, the Mets are kind of like a kooky aunt that, at the end of the day, if the family party winds down, you're kind of like, whoa, that kooky aunt is a lot, but you love them. You absolutely love them. The Angels are like that relative that kind of shows up to the party that you're not even sure how they're related, but they've just kind of been at every family event. But you don't even know the connection. You're kind of scared to start a conversation with them because you don't know where it's going to end up. Like the last time you talked to them, like you heard a lot of animals died. And you're like, I don't want to have this conversation anymore. Shohei Ohtani signed with the Los Angeles Angels. He made that decision. And I think there's reasons. There's probably reasons we don't know, and there's reasons we do know. I mean, the West Coast has traditionally been easier for ball players coming over from Asia. I mean, you're literally that much closer. Ichiro had a ton of success in Seattle. I think there were rumors, and I don't know what's out there or not. I do think Shohei was a little worried about going to New York City, the big city, and doing that. I don't know if that's necessarily full-on fear of the big city. I don't know. I think the bigger thing with Shohei that none of us can comment on is there were scouts that said a lot of different things about Shohei. There were scouts that said he's not going to hit at the major league level. There were scouts that were like, he's a pitcher only. There was a wide range on what he'd become. Because guess what? Nobody thought he'd be this. nobody thought he'd be a lock for top 3 MVP every year, that he'd be able to pitch, rack up strikeouts and have elite stuff, that he'd be able to hit home runs at an unreal rate. So I have no idea in Shohei's conversations when he went around to different teams, did the Angels say, full tilt your call? Like, let's empty the tank. You'll get to hit when you want. You get to pitch when you want. Did the Yankees say, hey, why don't you pitch for a little while and then maybe we'll try the hitting if the pitching's there? Who knows? I have no idea. So when he signed with the Angels, I didn't really care. Like, who knows how those conversations went. And, he was pairing up with Mike Trout, the best player in the world. So there's some kind of cool stuff there.
Good weather there. Also, like, his situation was unique because he could have, I think if he waited like one more year, he would have been able to get paid.
Right.
He would have been able to get even if it was, say I got 5 for 80, he would have gotten something like that probably. He was still young. He was 23 when he came over, so it would have been 24.
He turns 28 on July 5th.
It's coming up.
He would currently hit free agency 2024, that's after the 2023 season, if I'm doing that right. Shohei doesn't have a year and a half till free agency, does he?
I might.
Baseball contracts.
I remember he signed
a
funky extension for, that's just what you call it, that bought out 2 of the 3 ARB years.
He can be a free agent after the 2023 season. That's next year, right?
Yeah. There's another 5.5 mil this year.
So, even going back to that, maybe Shohei knew he was Shohei. And maybe the Seiya, if he signed the Seiya Suzuki deal, I think everyone would have been like, oh, that's a little risky. Turns out it would have been risky for Shohei because he would have ended up eating a couple more years of his prime, right? Or maybe I'm doing the math wrong there because he still had to do all of arbitration and stuff.
He would be.
He would have got a
this
little
year would
more
be the
money.
last year.
He would have got a little more money. So that part is wrong. I take that back. Shohei Ohtani is going to hit free agency after next season. He is a two-way player, an elite two-way player.
He's depending on where you rank the pitching in any given year, he's at least a plus pitcher. At least. And he's all-star level on the mound. Not to mention MVP level hitting.
He's all-star level both sides. He's probably there's an argument he's top 10 on both sides. Hitting and pitching. I'll leave fielding and some more out of it because they don't even bother.
He's fast.
By the way, I think he could play a mean right field. I just think you don't bother when you're getting everything else. Anyways.
If he was
he's got the arm.
If he was just
got the legs.
Passable at one and good at the other, not at all-star level, just good, there'd be articles every other. He's probably the MVP.
Right.
He's really good at both.
I don't know what you do if you're the Angels. They have now dropped, what's their record? They're 33-38. We'll see what happens in the upcoming weeks for them. I am not optimistic. I was an Angels guy. Jake's Halos. I was taking pats on the back. Rendon getting hurts. Anthony Rendon is a high-level baseball player. I don't think you can put a 14-game losing streak on him. They fired their manager. We will see. A couple good weeks, and you can get back towards that 500 mark, and that's kind of where you need to be around the wild card. I don't know if they can sell anyways. Maybe after the Rendon news, and if they keep spiraling, you can. But, man, you can't lose 11-10 at home to the Royals when Shohei has a 2-homer, 8 RBI game. 8 RBI from Shohei. I was a free Mike Trout guy. He was an adult that made a decision to sign a big old extension to stay there. And we'll see. Maybe one day Trouty gets loud and is like, I I got to go. Will the Angels do anything? When's the last time have we seen a baseball player truly demand a trade in recent years?
Like I think like demand, kind of no. I'm sure there's
some backhand. Yeah.
It goes both ways a little bit.
Shohei has now proven himself at the major league level. He can go anywhere. He can do anything he wants.
It's like no trade clause stuff, so the guy has to approve it. But
he could ride it out till free agency. A year and a half more of Shohei Ohtani in Anaheim, and he could go wherever else he wants. And my God, that contract. You want to talk about zeros? Could that be $500 million? I saw an article that said $600 million. So if you thought I was being ridiculous. Or, if you're the Angels, Phil Nevin's record as manager, 6-9, BBD. It's for you.
it's nice. He's doing a nice job.
Part of me would love if the Angels just went full video game. What could you trade for Mike Trout? What could you trade for Shohei Ohtani? Start this whole thing over. I don't think they're going to trade Ohtani, but at the same time, what are you just... How can you re-sign him? I guess I would have said the same about Trout. So, I don't know. I don't know if people are going to start talking about it today. I don't know if people start talking about it. No, it would be timely. Ohtani's birthday, July 5th. If the Angels get even worse, and people are like, well, this guy's going to be a free agent in a year and a half. What kind of haul could you get for a year and a half of Shohei Ohtani? Like a full farm system? He's 2 players. He's 2 elite players. I don't know. For years, there's been arguments in sports about high-level players and how, on lesser teams and how do you treat that. And, Bryce Harper and the Nationals, they never did it. Bryce moves on. It's not the perfect example. They had 3 elite pitchers. Juan Soto came up. I don't know. I don't know. Again, it's becoming a signature line of mine. I don't know how this ends, but I'm excited to find out. But I think things might get loud. The year and a half contract trade in baseball has become one of the more popular trades. And man, if you're the Angels, like for anyone that's played video games and you see those trade offers come over that look kind of silly or like, you kind of have that moment where you're playing a video game. Like it's like, oh, the Mavericks offer you Luka Doncic. And you're like, well, I don't know if that would happen in real life. What if this was real life? What offers would they get? I don't know. I'm excited. I kind of want the noise to come because I kind of want a free Shohei. So that was a little Shohei Ohtani opening. Let's get into something a lot more fun. Let's call Joe's McFly, who just seemingly had a guy who is always a king.
Jake,
Joe's McFly, is this you?
this is I.
How are you doing? How are you doing, Big Daddy?
I mean, is anything but great and acceptable answer? Yeah.
What's going on with you, dude?
I can't explain what's going on.
Are
This
you
isn't real?
Are you a lucky man?
I am a man, and this must be a simulation.
Joe's, for those that don't know, I think everyone in the world knows. I try to tell everyone that would listen to me. You won the 50-50 raffle at the Tampa Bay Rays game last night.
We did. Am I on Wake and Jake, or am I on? Or is this what is it, Wake and Jake?
You are on Wake and Jake. We are not live right now.
Okay.
So
We're not live. Okay.
no, the
Internet don't work.
If you haven't heard, the internet at this office sometimes.
All-time low.
We might need some of that 50-50 raffle money for the internet. So
Yeah, I mean, You know what we'll do? I'm sure one of the investors will help out actually.
Joe's,
No.
you go down to Tampa. You plan on going to the game the night before.
Yeah.
And you do go, and you have a good time. Yankees win.
Great time.
Now, Joe's, and correct me anything I miss, but you decide to stay an extra night?
Yes, I decided to stay an extra night.
You decide to go to the next day's Yankees game?
Yes, I did.
You link up with some people, Luis Severino's wife.
Yeah, and Luis Severino was actually, because I didn't have tickets, he was the one nice enough to get me those tickets.
So Luis Severino, the Yankees starting pitcher today?
I believe it's J-Mo tonight.
It's J-Mo tonight. He starts against Houston.
He starts against the Houston Astros at Yankee Stadium.
We line him up for Houston.
That's what he's doing. He gets you tickets to the game, sure. That's normal. Yankee starting pitcher. You go to the game.
I do.
You're enjoying yourself, and they do a 50-50 raffle. And again, I'm interpreting from your video, but it sounded like you were going to get $50 worth of raffle tickets, but then you heard half of it's going to charity, and then somehow that got up to $100, which made you buy double the tickets.
Yeah.
And then on those second set of tickets you get is the winning number where you win $15K while watching a Rays game with tickets that were given to you by the Yankees starting pitcher, Luis Severino. I just want to make sure I had that right.
That is correct. And it's funny because I actually had moved my section to sit next to Rosmali because I was like one section over. And she was like, yo, just sit over here, like sit with us and stuff. And then when the guy was coming up, I let them pass like 2 times. Like I guess they were selling those tickets, and then they came back, and I was like, you know what, let's get it. And then that's when we got it.
Honest question: Do you think you were trying to ball out a little more to impress Luis Severino's wife and got $100 worth of tickets?
No, absolutely not. Actually, I was trying to be extra frugal. So I was looking at everything as like, I was like, all right, you know what? I'll just try it out. Kind of like what I got to. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. And trust me, I don't have any kind of funds that will impress those people. I don't have that kind of revenue.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's pretty true. Joe's, I can't tell you the energy that you provided me and thousands of other Yankee fans last night.
Thousands.
And thousands of other Joe's fans last night. Because basically, it got announced to the internet right as the Yankees lost. Like, Judge hits a crushing fly ball.
I thought that went out. I was looking at it as I was signing my check paperwork.
Must be nice. I was looking at it. Dude, maybe it was guerrilla warfare by the Rays, because if Judge sees you, he probably gets it a little more on the barrel and it's a tied game. So maybe this was all a plan by the Rays to get you away from Judge.
I like that. But you know what? I'll tell you right now, man. Being here 2 days, the Trop is one of the best ballparks in baseball. I mean, can you imagine the hospitality?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever gotten any kind of treatment like that any other ballpark. And the fact that, for an opposing fan, that they're going to treat this well, I mean, that's awesome.
Joe's, so what happens? You meet some of the dudes after the game. You posted and sent the video. Sevy's in shock. The guys don't know what's going on. Because it's unreal what happened.
Unreal.
And then I mean, what's the rest of your night? Like, I saw you tweeted out, you were like, I might get myself a steak, and then I saw you tweet out everything is closed. So walk me through it.
Yeah. All right. So I was gonna do a steak and stuff, and I was like, well, this is the way it works. So after everything ended, so Smiley's like, oh my God, we gotta go tell Luis. So then she takes me down there to the player tunnel and stuff, and then to go meet them. And then they couldn't believe I won. They're like people win that? Like I thought nobody actually wins that. They were telling me how in Toronto that 50-50 raffle gets up to crazy, like up to $500,000.
Right.
They even try to get it, and it's like there's no rhyme or reason. Like they've never met anybody that's won that.
Because people don't win those, Joes.
Real people don't win those. It's like simulation people win those. Like it's like I can't explain that. It's like somebody winning the lottery. That doesn't happen. Crazy.
It's literally winning the lottery.
It's literally winning the lottery. It is a lottery. That's very true.
Are you heading back to NYC?
I am. I'm in the airport right now, waiting aboard, looking at a line of people as they're rushing to get into a plane that's going to wait there for 50 minutes.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
I don't understand. It's just bad etiquette.
Joes, I have something unrelated that I opened the show with. Did you know it's I think it's 1.5 years until Shohei Ohtani is a free agent?
Yes, it is.
What's that make you feel?
I don't know what that makes me feel. Are you trying to say like the Yankees will get him? Because I doubt it.
I didn't say that.
That's what you're trying to say.
I didn't say that. I thought it could be interesting.
It could be interesting. It'll be great for him. I mean, he's going to make a lot of money on the open market, but I don't think New York's the place because he chose not to come here, where it's the biggest market. The number one team in New York. And if you didn't want to build your market there, you're definitely not going to do it now. So that's the luck of whatever team you choose, bro. I hope it is. I hope he changes his mind and it is the Yankees, but I sincerely doubt it.
Maybe he just had to get his feet wet in America,
Maybe he has to get his feet wet in America. Maybe that's it. He wanted to be closer to home. Now he's ready, to do that. That's a possibility too.
That is. Joe's, are you going to the game tomorrow?
I will partake in such an event, yeah. For sure, because there is a hot team coming over,
right.
The Astros. So I would like to be there for that. Want to see that.
Okay.
So I'll be at the stadium tomorrow and probably 2 games. I'll probably stream 2 games on Twitch, and then I'll probably go to 2 games. So.
Okay. Well,
I don't know which one's it.
I'm kind of interested in going, so maybe we'll talk about that offline.
Oh, let's do that. Well, definitely. I have no kids right now, so
right.
No loopy stuff happening.
Joe's goes,
Joe's go. LA Joe's is gonna be different now, boy. I was telling Trevor Floop yesterday. LA Joe's is gonna be different, so I can't wait for that.
It's gonna be a fun All-Star game. All right, yeah. Joe's. Part of me is genuinely happy for you. Part of me is generally hates you for winning.
What?
So I can't believe you won, dude.
Hate me? Why do you hate me? I thought you were happy for me.
I'm happy for you, and I hate that you won.
What? You know somebody that won, so it's good.
I wanted to be the someone that's somebody new won.
Exactly,
dude.
So I think I'm gonna play. You know what? Let's
Joes.
play the New York lottery. Let's go play that. Then
Joes, do you know how much money you've just cost me in my lifetime? Do you know how many 50-50 raffles I have to play going forward because you won?
You know what? I didn't think about that. I think Domingo Herman yesterday was like, oh my God, you got to play here all the time. Then I'm like, I will never play here again. Do you hear me? I will never play here again.
Joes, you're done. You can never play the 50-50 raffle again.
I will play the 50-50 raffle again because I'm up a lot, but I won't play it there.
I guess that's fair.
I won't play it there.
You can play it at other stadiums. You can go win the Toronto one now.
Try everywhere once.
The Toronto one, I mean, that's like changing money, but.
Right, then you'd have to turn the francs into euros and then turn the euros into American or whatever,
Then we could really fix the internet.
Joe's, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, big guy. Congrats, I guess, and go Yanks.
Yeah. Yes, go Yanks. You might see me today. I mean, I don't know. I'll see how I feel when I land.
Okay.
Maybe.
I think we're at the office late because we're recording, so we'll see.
Oh, yes, you are. It is a late day today.
Late day.
Okay. Might swing by.
Okay.
May swing by. For sure.
All right, Joe's.
Good stuff.
See you later, Big Poppy.
You need to bring the 50-50 to Yankee Stadium, man. They don't do that.
Why don't they?
I don't know. It was so foreign to me. I didn't even know what the rules were.
Okay, stop.
I'm serious. I don't. JoJo's just started. I haven't really been to other places like that.
Stop.
I'm being very, very, very honest with you. That's all I can be.
I know you are.
Jimmy's post game yesterday was hilarious, by the way.
So funny. So funny. I just saw him poke his head around. I can't wait to talk shit about you to him.
Oh, great.
So. All right, Tampa Joe's. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Talk to you later. Peace.
Bye. That was Tampa Joe's McFly. Unbelievable. Happy for him and hate him, like I said there. Kind of like you said, it's something that you hope you meet someone that wins a 50-50 raffle. And this is something that I forgot to tweet out, and I will tweet out in a minute. The guy that has made a career out of reacting to things won one of the most ridiculous things you can react to. Like, it's just some poetic bullshit, if I'm being completely honest. So, happy for my guy, Joe's McFly. There's one other sporting event I told you guys at the start of the show. Don't think we're going to super deep dive into, but the NBA draft is tomorrow night. And I think it's a really good one. So if you're an NBA fan, I think tomorrow's an exciting night. You probably know Chet Holmgren, the kid out of Gonzaga, 7 foot, listed $195. He's got some Durant to his game. He's got some Kristaps Porzingis to his game. He's a big man that, he has a handle. He has a shot. He's fun to watch. The biggest concern is his frame, which, honestly, a lot of NBA prospects, you end up growing into it because the kid is a kid. He's 20 years old now, but he's a kid. He should be a fun watch. Jabari Smith out of Auburn, if you're not familiar, he's a guy you're going to want to get familiar with. He's incredible, 6'10", can handle, can shoot. I mean, all of these guys now are so skilled. Paolo Banchero, the forward out of Duke, kind of like might be a point center in the NBA. The guy handles, he averaged 17.2, 17, 8, and 3 in college. Some NBA Draft on Net. Part of the reason I love their website has player comps, has Julius Randle and Juwan Howard, two guys remembered very differently in NBA history currently. Can't believe they just slashed that. Yeah, it's why it's awesome. My favorite website. Banchero, if you guys are looking for takes or something to lean on, I'm not the biggest Banchero fan. I think he's huge. He did the same move every time in college. He's just bigger than you. He would spin in the lane and get to a spot, which, kudos. Use your size to get to your spot. I think in the NBA it doesn't work that well, and
it's going to need more.
Think about what we're talking about, whether it's Chet Holmgren or Jabari Smith or Durant or a lot of these current prospects. Like, you grow and you get bigger as you age. It's just kind of natural. You know, like look at LeBron nowadays compared to young LeBron. He's still doing it, which is incredible. Paolo Banchero is already like built up and big. If he gets bigger, the NBA doesn't work like that anymore. So I don't know. Again, he's so skilled and he is so big that I'm not saying he's gonna be like a bust, like he's out of the league. Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren, and the other guy that hasn't really been mentioned yet, Jaden Ivey. I think those three are going to be pretty special ball players, high level. Banchero would be my question mark.
If you wouldn't pick him one.
And it's just me being snobby. Like I would.
Got the choice of others.
It's just me being snobby a little bit. So it's
a little bit just like the story going into the night. That was particularly the top three big dudes. Everyone has them going 1, 2, 3. Everyone's got their own order, though. Nobody knows exactly how that's going to shake out. And then secondary to that, Ivy is like his own tier.
Right.
There's a lot of people who want that or want a guard skills. The Kings getting a lot of calls about number 4.
Yeah, that's
every team's rumored one in.
One of the hot conversations coming in. Jaden Ivey, his comps on NBADraft.net are Anthony Edwards and Donovan Mitchell, which actually play. I think when you heard me talk about him in NCAA tournament, I saw a little Morant in there. But yeah, he's an athletic combo guard that he can also shoot a little bit. So, I mean, that's kind of what runs the league right now, right? Along with the wings, the Jabari Smiths, like that. I mean, Smith and Ivy seem like your safest picks. Holmgren, I mean, super interested to see what he actually becomes. His defense is pretty good for someone that had that frame.
Long.
I'm sure he's going to have some tough highlights early on in his NBA career, but a lot of young guys do. So that the kind of second tier of players, Keegan Murray, Benedict Mathurin, I know a lot of Knicks fans were in on him for a little while. It looks like he's got a chance to go higher than that. Johnny Davis out of Wisconsin, he should be somewhere up there. The Dukies, A.J. Griffin and Mark Williams. A.J. Griffin, man, people love and hate him. Maybe it's a Duke thing. And I don't want to necessarily compare them to. I mean, who was there? It was Zion, Cam Reddish, and R.J. Barrett, right? I mean, A.J. Griffin, he can shoot, which in the NBA is very important.
There's one ability to have.
It's a really good one to have. I've heard people just roast his defense. Which if you're a young player and you don't play defense at the NBA, that does not work. Maybe I'm just a Duke hater. Jeremy Sochan, the young guy out of Baylor, you might remember dyeing his hair and stuff. He's kind of the new age NBA. He can guard literally every position. I know that's gotten overused. Like him a lot. Basically the NBA figured out is that there is a way to teach shooting. It's just repetition and form. Like there's a formula. Go look at PJ Tucker shooting corner threes in conference finals games the last few years.
Like it's always been like, yeah, shooting's the last thing to fully click, but they're straight up teaching guys to shoot when they get to the NBA these days.
There's
it's taken another step.
We love being able to statistically measure things, and you can measure shooting improvement. So let's see what else from NBA Draft on that. BBD, who do you want your Knicks to take?
Assuming sticking at 11, I don't see Dyson Daniels being down at surviving that long. Johnny Davis is would probably be the most fun pick because he seems like the best shot creator they could end up with.
6'5" scoring guard.
Yeah, he's got holes in his game, but so does everybody outside of that top 3.5, 4, really. AJ Griffin, if you get him, it's kind of shake hands, cool. He seems like a pretty safe bet to be able to start some NBA games. So you see what happens there. Sochan interested. Jalen Duren is kind of the only one I'm like, boring.
Mm.
I'm sure he'll be a quality player, but it's like if you draft him, that means Mitch is gone, and then it feels like a similar mold. Center can't shoot.
The one of the guys I'm interested in is Abaji. He's the senior out of Kansas. He had a couple big tournament games. But he's a senior. He's 22. Like, that's so unappealing to teams now. His NBA comps are Desmond Bane, who was lighting things up for those young Grizzlies, or Kalena Azubuike, who was just like a bust in the league. So the fact that those are his two comps, again, NBADraft.net artwork. If you're looking for silly things, there is a player named Nikola Jovic, which is just so close.
So close.
So close.
Jokic.
I don't know. I'm going to say this. Enjoy the draft. It's and there's a weird side to it that we're watching super young men just having their future, part of their futures dictated in front of them, but there's also a ton of hope and optimism that goes into it. That's what I'm going to do, unless, well, I'll maybe tracking from my phone if Joe's convinces me to that Yankees-Houston game. Convinces me, Jake. Big Yankees fan. Let's see. Are there any deep cuts that I need to give you guys? Keels, the guard from Duke. He figured it out later in the year a little bit.
I think people like Jalen Williams from Santa Clara a lot. I don't got anything on him, but hear his name as somebody people think like, oh, he might end up going earlier than you think.
I think there's supposed to be some guy from Italy that people love. I was listening to Russillo, obviously. Obviously, Jake.
Whatever the Spurs end up with, good.
Yeah, that was the old game, right? That was the old game. Enjoy the draft. Enjoy the draft. As I enjoy you guys, the Wake and Jake Bakers. You guys are the absolute best. Last time we talked, we said Mariners may be dead. Steph Curry and the boys were enjoying winning the NBA Finals. Some of the comments. Tom Ace commented on Joe's 50-50 raffle. Unreal. He said the three things he expects Joe's to spend it on. 1, Yankees World Series tickets and Legends. Whoa. 2, romantic weekend with Dolphins. With 2 Dolphins. Excuse me. 3, see number 2. I'm excited to see what Joe's does with his new shekels. Second time, Joe Hammond. Second time asking Jake to please talk about Michael Harris too. Here you go, man. He has been killing it for Atlanta. He's one of those prospects. He's from outside of Atlanta. He's from Georgia. I always think that's cool. He is 21 years old. He's been playing center field for the Braves. 345, 375, 946 OPS. I mean, that's the kind of thing that can change your season. And in games that he's started, the Braves are 17-6. So, yeah, real shot of life from the 21-year-old. That's nuts. That's nuts. Matthew Nauer said he's on a 10-hour flight, so he's going to listen to Wake and Jake on 0.1 speed. It's a tactic. It's a tactic. Bakers, I appreciate you guys to the umpteenth degree. And that'll bring us to the bro of the night. The bro of the night is brought up to have a discussion about something that happened in the sports world. Mine is a guy we've talked about a lot on Talking Baseball this year. There's a new episode of that out today, a weird one, if I'm being honest. Tony Gonsolin. Catterday, kind of known as this a silly character, an extra piece for the Dodgers. He started a World Series game in the COVID year, and everyone was hoping he could get through an inning or two, hopefully. He leads the National League in ERA. He is 9-0 with a 1.58 ERA this year. He is first in WHIP 0.82. We've been laughing a lot because Trevor saw him. I think it was his high school like pickup game he does every year. And Trev saw him across the field, and the dude was popping the mitt, that kind of special pop in the mitt. That Trev was like, who is that guy? It was Tony Gonsolin. Maybe not your crazy modern flamethrower you'd expect. Average fastball is 93. But a little 4-pitch mix, fastball, changeup, slider, curve. The expected ERA, the baseball savant half passes the test. Like, there's a chance the numbers come back down to earth a little bit, but it is almost the end of June. He is 9-0, the best ERA in baseball. Shout out to the guy. He, again, kind of an afterthought of the Dodgers. You'd bring up his cats before his pitching, and here he is with the best ERA. So shout out Tony G. Beebs?
We talked a little bit about them in the past, but I'm gonna give another shout out to Nolan Gorman. Homers last night, couple of them, I believe. 4 for 4. 4 ribbies. Cardinals at the Brewers. 6-2 win. Tied for first again. Rookies are... And like all the Cardinals rookies, we've talked about it before, and somehow it still feels like not enough.
Yeah.
That should be like kind of a story of baseball. They have like 4 dudes that came out of nowhere.
The baby birds and the mama birds. Gorman.
Claire pitched.
866 OPS, 22 years old. St. Louis, they got a little bit of juice. I know I was being tough on them the other day because their record isn't exactly where you'd like it to be, but Goldschmidt is having an MVP season. Tommy Edman is racking up WAR on both sides of the ball. Arenado has been really good this year. And then, they're getting it. Brendan Donovan, 318, 425, 855 in 49 games. That's not like 15 and you had a streak. Like, he's played more games than Tyler O'Neill for them. Juan Yepes, he's been hitting. I think just another example of a really well-run franchise. And they're feeling 91.5% chance to make the postseason for the Birds. I think that was one of my DraftKings preseason bets. Cardinals to make the postseason. So
'Cause it was somehow plus money for yes. I joined you.
Genius. I guess you'd call me a genius. All right, Beebs. To everyone that likes watching live, sorry about the internet. Sucks. We don't like it either. We're trying to address it. Watch everything else on John Boy Media. BBD says the dumbest weekly dumb there's been. Compound with Ian Happ, Farm to Fame. I think I saw Kelsey Winger back, maybe Ashland. Talking baseball, we got a funky one. Players only. Morning and everything else on AMP. Go check that out. Talking Yanks, Pinstripe Strong, everything. Guess Who, MLB Guess Who is awesome. Check all of it out. Let's have a great end to the week.
Wordle coming later.
Wordle. Love you guys. Bake the algo a little bit.